What's up, guys? Neil Armstrong here with another video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but have a little bit of free time now, so I want to dish out some videos to help people. So the team we've got here is Basti, Jelly, Serperior. Now I know Basti is not very spicy, right? But I started a new segment on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Neil Armstrong, and it's called DJ Mondays, and I'm not a huge fan of Basti, but I wanted to test out Bastiodon because I built an XL during one of the last events, the Ultra Unlock bonus, and there was a lot of shield on, so I got a ton of that. Was able to build a Basti, and I said, "Hey, chat, how do we make this team as degen as possible?" So they said, "Debuffs. We got to do debuffs, aka debuffs." So I added Jellicent in there and Serperior in there. I love using Serperior. A little bit spicy, but I can't call a team spicy if I'm running Bastiodon. But to much of my surprise, I was able to go 17-3 with this team, and I actually gained about 200 elo the first day I ran this. And so I went from 2857 elo to about 3050 elo, and I went from 3050 to 3200 today. So this team really is very, very good, actually. As much as I don't want it to work, it ended up being really, really good. So I wanted to share my team. For anyone pushing for Legend rank this last week, try out my team. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a good team and if it worked out for you. Because one of my favorite things as a content creator is seeing other people use my team. So, definitely let me know on Twitter, YouTube comments, Twitch, anywhere. Let me know if you run the team and if it works for you. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go through this. Let's go through these battles. All right. So these are my battles at 2951 elo. So pretty good. We'll see how I do. All right. This first battle we've got Basti versus Crustle. So really, really good lead for us. The opponent would probably want to switch out here because Crustle loses this pretty hard. Alright, so looks like the opponent is staying in here. This is a good indication that the opponent has something weak to Bastiodon in the back. So, I'm glad to stay in this matchup. So we'll stay in this, and we'll see how the opponent plays. Rock Slide, the great thing about Crustle is everything is resisted, so Bastiodon can just go to town here. It's in my best interest to farm all the way down here because he could have thrown a move there, so that might have been a misplay. Alright, well, the opponent just quits out. So, you know what? That's an easy win there. So, as we could tell, the backline was probably weak to a Basti, and that's probably why they didn't switch out. And the opponent just gave up at that point. Already shows you the power of Bastiodon. But, the next couple of matches probably won't be this easy. I had to put this in there, right? This was almost like my push to legend, per se. But yeah, this is probably my second or third time hitting Legend this season, Legend Elo, and this is just another team that I wanted to try out, since Great League just rolled around, and I was expecting a lot more Basties, but you know what? I didn't see too many Basties, so even with people running counters, I think this team ended up working really, really well, so... Alright, this next queue is taking forever. Might have to fast forward here a little bit. Let's see. Alright, next battle, we've got Basti v Basti. Alright, so my Bastiodon is 1490 CP, and their Bastiodon is 1496 CP. So I will definitely be losing this mirror match. One thing I will say is that is a really cool shiny, the shiny Bastiodon, and I'm very jealous. Although I caught maybe about 200 shield on, I didn't get a single shiny, and I caught a lot of Cranidos too, so I was sad I didn't get any of those shinies. Alright, so in this mirror match, what you'd want to do is you want to go for Flamethrower, because Stone Edge is resisted from that steel typing, and so we're just going to go for whatever deals the most damage. This is, of course, a very resident sleeper matchup here. This is going to go on for a very long time, so... I wouldn't be surprised if this matchup ends in a timeout. Another big thing here is you want them to throw a move preferably first because you want to go for a sneak in. And it's very hard, since both of these moves are 3 turns, to not prevent a sneak in unless you've got NA internet. You know what I'm saying, guys? So we go for this flamethrower, and at this point we're looking pretty good, right? We snuck in a charge move, so we're gonna win regardless of their attack stat, since we have that extra smackdown. But they get one through there, so unfortunately it's back to even. So I throw this flamethrower, and this matchup's going to keep going. We'll see how long this takes, but this is probably ending about like 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's probably how long this mirror match takes. So we're both in the reds here. Like I said, his is probably a little bit more XL than mine, so he's going to end up probably winning this matchup. We're going to no-shield this probably, because what we want to do is we want to get farm on something in the back, right? Because then it'd be... Oh, so they got a smackdown there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think we were already relegating this matchup to the opponent, so we're not too worried about it. Yeah, it looks like the opponent will clearly farm us down here. I guess what we want to do, though, is... Wow, they survived with 1 health. So what we want to do is at least get some farm on something and hope he doesn't throw a move. Alright, perfect. So we farm down with Jellicent. We'll see what's in the back. Sableye. This is really bad. What I'm going to do here is go for a Shadow Ball bait. But unfortunately, the opponent, really good timing, threw the move before I could. So this kind of forces me to use a shield here if I want to get this bait off. Okay, so I go for the Bubble Beam bait, and we'll see what the opponent does. This could be risky if he no-shields, because Shadow Ball will one-hit KO. And the opponent calls it and actually no-shields a Bubble Beam, which was a crazy call. This is a little bit good, though, that they're wasting their energy here, because they're debuffed. So we don't necessarily have to shield this first one. Alright, they're staying in, which maybe indicates that they have something weak to Serperior in the back. I guess time will tell. But we're going to throw the Sleep Tornado to force him to shield again. Or actually to shield the first time. But yeah, they shield, which is pretty good for us. So now it's even shielding scenario. So I'm going to go for this Frenzy here. So not necessarily weak to Jellicent, but you know, he probably wants to preserve that Sableye for the Jellicent in the back. Okay, we'll see if we can get to a move here. The opponent times this correctly, which he does. We are not going to be able to get to a move. Let's hope this is a Psycho Boost so that he's debuffed and can't hurt us that bad. Okay, he throws a Thunderbolt. I guess he doesn't want to debuff, which indicates that he probably has Psycho Boost and Thunderbolt. Now, I want to go in for extra fast moves here because at this point, Sableye is going to one-hit us, right? So our win con here is we go for a timeout win. As lame as that sounds, when you got to win a match, you got to think of all possible win cons. So I'm going for a Bubble Beam here to slow down the clock, and hopefully we can win from a timeout. Alright, so we see the timer come up. We've got about 17 seconds. That means we got to start launching Bubble Beams. Doesn't matter how much damage we're going to do. We just need to have more health at the end of the day. So we're going for these Bubble Beams, and I'll probably get one more after this. Very close in terms of health. Oh my god. And we get the Bubble Beam at the very end. That basically seals the deal because now we will debuff it one more time. It'll have a little bit less health than we will, and they can't throw a move. So I feel very bad for the opponent there, but you know what? A win's a win. And if we're running the DGen team, we got to do everything we can to win the game. Alright, so then let's move on to the next battle here. Currently 2-0, so like I said, about yesterday I went 5-0, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, and that just happened. So I checked the score there. Let's fast forward a little bit. But yeah, this team, yeah, 5-0, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. So I do want to talk a little bit about what's a safe swap. Whenever you see the opponent has something, let's say it's a Politoed, right? So you're debating on whether you want to switch into Jellicent or Serperior. Usually, you know, when I first started playing this game, I would want to swap into Serperior because that hard counters, right? Unfortunately, we don't want to do that because the opponent can swap out to something that hard counters, you know, our Serperior, and then we're in a bit of trouble with that Politoed. So what you'd want to do is actually swap into Jellicent because that's a bit of a softer counter to a Politoed, but now you have that Serperior in the back in case they they switch out for that Politoed. And Serperior has a much easier matchup in the back against Politoed. So that's usually typically something I like to do is swap to a softer counter, per se, than our harder counter. Because we don't want to reveal that we have a hard counter to that Politoed. And we have to keep the opponent guessing, right? The cues are a little bit bad here, unfortunately. Let's see if I can fast forward a little bit. See if we can get... Alright, I fast forward a little too much. Let's go back a little bit. Alright, so this is a terrible lead. But, Serperior is technically a softer counter to this Empoleon matchup because Jellicent does a little bit better. But this is a really, really bad matchup for us. So, hard counter into hard counter. So, not much we can do here. We're just going to keep debuffing and, kind of annoy the opponent and, stall out the timer a little bit. Because with a hard counter team like this, it's probably going to come out to a timeout. It's probably going to be our win con here. So we're going to go for a Leaf Tornado and keep trying to debuff. The case could be made to go for a Frenzy, but the thing is I want my Basti to get a lot of farm, right? So we want to do as little damage as possible so we can farm down with Bastiodon. Okay, opponent goes for Aerial Ace, which is fine. They're just expending their energy, which is good for us. And we'll see where we go here. It's probably useless to go for Leaf Tornado because they're already so debuffed. But might as well go for another debuff, right? It's not like Frenzy will be doing any more damage than Leaf Tornado. Alright, so I think I just go for a Frenzy Plant here because at this point it's not really that big of a deal going for Leaf Tornado. You could make the claim that, yeah, you could get a little bit more farm, but I think I was starting to get a little bit annoyed here. Maybe I could have gotten to the Frenzy. But we were very close there. We had to go for the Leaf Tornado anyways. This puts the opponent in a difficult spot because a Frenzy probably takes from this range. So we'll see what the opponent does. Wow, big call with the no shield there. So honestly, this is not the best because we only get a minimal farm on this Mandibuzz. But we'll see what the opponent has in the back. Yeah, hopefully Jellicent can do something, but we'll see. Alright, foul play. That hits for basically nothing because of that Leaf Tornado debuff. Alright, so Empoleon, what does he have in the back? A9. So if this was a Powder Snow A9, I think we had a chance for this. But unfortunately, it is a Charm A9, which actually just shreds us, unfortunately. Yeah, those neutral charms hurt. So, well, actually, it's not neutral. It's stab. The stab charms hurt very, very bad. So what I'm going for here is basically our only win con, which I had identified as just going for debuffs. We have to stall out the time and maybe win based off of health. But the opponent will just stay in this and shred us down. Unfortunately, timer looks like it's nowhere to be seen. So this is probably going to look like a GG's, unfortunately. And I have to start shielding now because Bastiodon has no play against Empoleon. It takes way too long to get to the moves, and Empoleon outpaces. So we're just going to go for continuous debuffs here, and we'll see what the opponent does. So in this case, honestly, even if I had switched to Jellicent against the Empoleon, we wouldn't have been in that great of a situation, right? Because they would have come in with their Mandibuzz. And Jellicent just has no play against Mandibuzz either. So really, this was just a hard team comp. Not much we could have done, unfortunately. But, that's just how some of the games go. But with the 17-3 record, I would say our team is still very, very good against a lot of the meta that is going around right now. Who's to say that the meta doesn't shift the next day, which it always does, unfortunately, is meta always shifts in GBL. But, I want to see if anyone can take advantage of this team. Because right now, Bastiodon is a very, very good Pokemon. So, yeah, this is definitely a loss. I'm throwing Stone Edge here. Not going to make a difference. Maybe I'm just salty. I don't know. But we just throw that. Yeah, and that's game over. Go ahead and surrender. Good game to our opponent. Alright, so let's go into our next match. Hopefully we can load into this pretty quickly. But yeah, So I want to see how far I can actually climb with this team. I know I said that I didn't want to play this that much, but you know, let's see how high we can climb with this. And yeah, 3200s right now. We'll see how high we can go. So Basti versus Altaria, very very good lead for us. They'll probably switch out of this. Yeah, so they switched to Ferrothorn, which is pretty bad for us because Ferrothorn, we don't have a good matchup with Ferrothorn in the back. So what I'm going to do here is throw this flamethrower, hopefully get a shield, and then we switch into Serperior because Serperior has no play against Altaria, but with a shield up, Serperior can probably do some work. So they throw a Mirror Shot there. Preferably, if I was the opponent, I would have gone for a Power Whip because that would have dealt so much more damage. So they shield that. That's great. We'll go into Serperior and start dishing out damage. Everything is resisted. That's really bad for us, but you know, with his shield up, it really helps. Okay, they go for Power Whip. Also resisted. So if I was the opponent, maybe go for Mirror Shot there because Mirror Shot probably with that neutral damage and stab is more energy efficient. So we're just going for Frenzies here because Leaf Tornado not really worth it. I could go for Leaf Tornado later. Okay, looks like I want a CMP tie here to see if they want to throw a move. And if we get this debuff, that'll be really nice. It'll make it a lot harder for this Ferrothorn to kill us. Oh, so they switch out, which is pretty interesting because now they'll probably get to a Sky Attack, right? Okay, that's good. So we can stall out the timer here by going for a Leaf Tornado. Hopefully we land the debuff, and then we switch back to our Basti. Alright, so we got the debuff, and they throw a move. So that's a little bit unfortunate for us, but we're just going to shield this up, and we're going to go back into Bastiodon and farm down. This is really, really good because now this Ferrothorn, you know, has to respect the flamethrower every time. And with this full farm down, we'll probably get close to 2 flamethrowers, which is really good for us. So we've seen Altaria, Ferrothorn. My guess is probably Azu in the back. That makes sense team comp wise. But could also be Defense Deoxys, which is really good for us too. So we're just going to farm down here. It's really important not to waste our energy here because that Altaria cannot do any damage to us. So we can let this go safely. And I expect probably whatever is in the back to come in because he can't come in with Ferrothorn in this case. Wow, that does like no damage. That is crazy, that debuffed Sky Attack. Alright, so as we predicted, it's Azu. So I'm going to throw this to soften it up a little bit. And then we'll come in with Serperior because Serperior has a good matchup against 2 of these things in the back. And there we go. We switched to Serperior. Glad I made that decision. So even if they switch out now, that's good for us because we'd rather not have Ferrothorn matched up against the Jellicent. So we're going to leave Tornado here. And they smartly actually stay in this matchup, which is a really good decision making by them. But we do have a flamethrower loaded. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait the switch timer out, and we're going to come in with Jellicent. The reason we wait the switch timer out is because we know the opponent is probably going to swap pretty quickly once they see the Jellicent. So if I was the opponent here, I would probably switch out as quickly as possible because nothing that Azumarill throws at Jellicent really threatens me. And then on top of that, I'm just getting extra farm to throw at this Ferrothorn. Okay, so they have a move, and that's pretty good that they did a combo play there, but we can just shield safely here, throw a Shadow Ball, and we can do a little bit of our own combo play. So I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball here. They'll probably have to shield this, and then I can come in and Flamethrower. Alright, there comes the shield, switch, and we get to the Flamethrower. And their switch timer is so misaligned that we had really no threat of them counter-switching. Alright, so we take the Ferrothorn out, and at this point, it's basically over. Azu needs basically 3 moves, including a Hydro on this Basti. So we can probably just farm down here. They throw a move, and timer is up too. So we will probably just win this game outright. Yeah, Ice Beam is not going to take us out here. We can just go for the farm down, and there we go. Yeah, and if we didn't get the farm down, we probably win from timeout anyways. Alright. Alright, let's rewind a little bit. Alright, so we've got Basti versus Stunfisk. Okay, this is terrible. So this is one of the biggest counters to Bastiodon, so we have to insta-swap to our safe swap. So we switched to Serperior this time. The claim could be made to go to Jellicent, but sometimes I like switching Serperior and Jellicent. Both are kind of soft counters to Stunfisk. So this is really good. This is his hard counter to Serperior, but they no-shield the Leaf Tornado, which I found crazy. Because if they no-shielded, that Frenzy is very close to taking at that point. So really ballsy call from our opponent. Also a very good call. So at this point I grabbed the shield, right? And my thought process is they're probably going to bait. And based on the way they play. Which they did. I still shielded though. But you know, we'll play this out into 2 shields and see how it goes. At this point they have to shield because even Leaf Tornado will take them out. But based on this opponent's playstyle, they like to play very ballsy. So we get another debuff there. If I was the opponent, I'd go for a Hurricane here because you're already 4 times debuffed. But I try to make a call. They go for another bait. And unfortunately, I called it wrong. But we can outpace the opponent here. So this is definitely just a Weather Ball. So this doesn't KO us, especially with 4 debuffs. 4 times debuff. And, you know, we can honestly probably farm down. But they switch to Stunfisk. Luckily, we're able to throw this move here. And we really hope to get a debuff. Claim could be made to go for a Frenzy Plant, but I wanted the debuff really badly. And we got the debuff. Very huge for us. Alright, so now we should be in a really good spot here. Earthquakes will probably do about 1/3 of our health, so not really that much. Yeah, not too much. And we can just go for a Shadow Ball and probably just a farm down, honestly. Alright, so Shadow Ball here. They'll most likely get to another Earthquake, but that's not really a big deal because we can tank it. Because of that debuff. Alright, so now we'll probably go for a farm down. Nice, we got a Hex through. Really, really good for us. And all this Stunfisk can do is really throw Earthquake. I'm assuming he'll probably maybe try to snipe with Pelipper. But nope, we get a full farm down, which is really good. Pelipper does win CMP though. So they'll probably bring in the Pelipper, win CMP, and take out the Jellicent. But I could be wrong. Okay, they come in with Pelipper, and I'm just going to throw the Shadow Ball because at this point, I don't want to risk, you know, not KOing with a Bubble Beam. So we're going to take it out here, and it's a Medicham. Really tight because we are very low on HP, but we're able to get to that Shadow Ball, and then we're in a good spot because that'll put it in the deep reds, and we can come down and farm with Bastiodon. So if the opponent had thrown a Weather Ball there to take out our Jellicent, we probably would have lost the game. So that was a really, really, really big Shadow Ball we threw there. Alright, so Power Up Punch. This is definitely going to hurt us really bad, but the thing is Basti is so thick, the XL variant, and the Medicham is very, very low on HP. So we could probably just muscle our way through this matchup. Yep, there we go. Alright, GG's to our opponent. There we go. I think that's about 3-1. We will see after this if we have any more matchups. But, yeah, we've been winning quite a lot. Yep, so that's the 4-1, and we'll probably cash this out and see where we land. Toxicroak. Man, I really want to get that Zacian. I have not gotten a lot of those, and I have not been raiding. Hashtag Heroes Niantic. I mean, I just haven't been raiding too much. But, you know, 29.92. And then right after this set, I think I got another 4-1, and it put me at 30.57. So, yeah, really good team. I don't want to say I enjoyed it because then I would be a Bastiodon lover. And I can't show love to Bastiodon. But, you know, this team is very, very solid right now in the meta. And I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to try out this team. Alright, so that's basically the video. You know, let me know once again on YouTube, in the YouTube comments, on Twitch, or, you know, follow me on Twitter. Let me know how the team went. Let me know if you enjoyed it and if you think you can climb to it. I really want to know if people can climb to Legend with this team. That would be so, so awesome. So, yeah, appreciate you guys watching my video, and peace.